All right, Yellowjackets, episode 2. We're late to this one again, 2 times in a row.
Thanks to me.
That's all right. Kaylee gets headaches, and there's nothing we can do about it. So we're getting to it when we can get to it. All right. So let's just jump right into it. So Shauna is crazy.
She's grieving very heavily.
Let's go with that, I suppose.
Yep.
And while she's talking to Jackie and Jackie is in control, Shauna realizes that Jackie's cutting herself, but then she's like, "You got the knife."
Yeah, like who's holding the knife?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, of course, we all knew the cannibalism was coming, right?
Yes.
And not to jump the gun, but this is the thing to discuss because it's the shocking scene of this episode. So, Taisa goes in and finds that Jackie has been made up.
Yes.
And she has just had it. This is just not going to fly anymore. She's too creeped out. And she reveals to the group that Shauna has been in there playing dress up, makeup with her dead friend. And they agree to burn the body, which as soon as they said that, I was like, oh,
yeah,
it's going to cook the body.
It's going to cook it, and they're
Right.
going to be like, we're hungry.
I have, in the past, always been on the side of like that this show remains pretty on the line, toes the line, where you can argue one way or another, supernatural, not supernatural. That line is starting to fall apart for me.
Yeah.
The snow collapsing on the body and it perfectly like
Doming
crusting it
Yeah.
so that this body can be smoked from the inside.
Yeah.
It's getting to that point anymore. It's getting to that point now where I can't any longer say that I don't feel the arguments there anymore for that it's not supernatural at this point.
Yeah.
It just is. Like
I definitely think it is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think that the show always intended to be. Mm-hmm. But I always had that like plausible deniability factor where I'm like, well, it could be. And I guess at this point, the snow could have fallen off.
Sure.
Right? You could have this and that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's too many coincidences now. Mm-hmm. Too fast. And once again, I think the bear thing, right? Just a bear walking up and being like, kill me, take my heart.
That's like the first thing.
That one was like, okay, this is definitely supernatural. But we got some puppy nightmares going on over there. I can hear our dog is sleeping and it's like whimpering. Now we get the return of the no-eyed man.
Yep.
Yeah. This, I was wondering when we were going to see him, who this person is. Is it the person that they found dead up in the attic? Or, but I think that person was talking to Jackie in her death dream.
I think so, and it wasn't the same.
Wasn't the same.
No.
Yeah. So who do you think the no-eyed man is? The leader of the cult?
Dude, I don't know.
I
don't know.
He was leading, so if what we're seeing is to be interpreted as, real, right? That Taisa is seeing this guy in her dreams, her dream walking that she does, then we can say that he was trying to kill Taisa.
Yes.
He was trying to walk her off of a cliff.
She was walking so fast too. Like, yeah, he was definitely leading her off the cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Van saves her.
Yes.
Now, a couple things happen in this that I had figured, and I had, had guessed last episode, and that the rift between both sides has now started, and it all has to do with Lottie, and the big rift is going to come from Taisa and Van. Van is talking to Lottie, but that's not the only rift that is being created through Lottie. Of course, there is the Travis and Natalie rift, not only in what Natalie is seeing, but what Travis is envisioning. So you still have Lottie behind Natalie's back by Travis's own, he's going out and doing this. He's getting her blessing, or whatever you want to call that.
It's her blessing works the best.
So yeah, she does her thing over him. Natalie catches them through the window. This already immediately creates some rift. She thinks that the only way to get Travis back is to lie to him in what I assume in her head is a needed, a needed factor. Like, she's convinced that Javi's dead.
Yes.
Right? Like, how could he be alive?
Yeah.
Now, could he be? Sure. Is he? Probably. Because that's going to create the most drama. Right? When Travis finds out that he's alive and that he wasn't wearing that jacket.
Right.
Then he's going to be like,
huge. Like, what? Yeah.
Yeah. So, Javi's alive. 100%. And, Lottie can feel it. So that's going to give more clout to Lottie so that she can look like their seer. Right? And so this is going to create an even further rift. But as of right now, as far as Natalie is concerned, she's mended their relationship through her little white lie, so to speak, where she stages this jacket to make it look like he is dead. Goes through his luggage, gets one of his jackets, tears it up, puts it on, cuts her leg open. She's committed to this.
Yes,
she's really into this dude. And once again, Travis is only able to get it up
when he thinks about Lottie.
When Lottie is involved.
Yep.
So, yeah, this is just the beginning of the rift, right? You're gonna have Van, and you're gonna have Travis, and you're gonna have certain people that are gonna be on Lottie's side. Where Shauna will fall, I'd have to go back and look at that footage that we got in the opening credits of episode 1 to see who's on whose side. We know that from previous season that Misty is more of the figurehead of the cannibals. Yeah. Right? She's the only one that we see unmask herself. We still haven't found out who was in the pit, right?
No, we haven't. We just know that they have the necklace on.
Correct.
Which is given to Shauna by Lottie in this episode. She takes it off of Jackie.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So we don't know who that is.
And we don't know who's standing over the pit either, which I'm still very much on Van is the one standing over the pit.
Especially with how Van, this episode too, I feel like, obviously they all are cannibals at this point at the end of the episode, but I feel like Van...
Not all. The coach.
You're right. The coach is not, because he knows he's next.
Yeah, he knows that he's the weakest, and that he's scared that he's going to be eaten.
Yeah, I would be too.
Sure.
But I was just going to say, I think Van is obviously pretty into Lottie's, beliefs right now. Or it seems like she's, because she kind of tries to ask Taisa if they should go talk to her. And I just think that Lottie is going to have obviously a lot to do with the cannibal cult. Even though we saw Misty unmasked, I think that a lot of it's going to be on Lottie and like this is being their birthright or like some kind of bullshit like that, you know?
So I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say that you're going to have very defined sides where Lottie's the leader over here and maybe Natalie's the leader over here. And I think that Misty is going to be a double agent who kind of tries to play on both sides, right? And she's going to be like going behind people's backs and being like, oh no, I'm on your side. And she wants to be loved. Yeah. You know, she wants to be everyone's favorite. And she's totally the kind of person that would play both sides and do absolutely anything she could to be loved and to be accepted. And I just feel like she's going to be that person. You're going to find out some, you know, twist or something that she was actually working for the other side the whole time or something, because that's just Misty.
Yeah, I can definitely see that for sure.
And speaking of Misty, Misty has a secret stalker. Yeah. But not secret to us. It's good old Elijah Wood.
Yeah, good old Elijah.
Yeah, Frodo Baggins himself has finally made a facial appearance.
I'm super excited that he's in the show. Yeah. I can't wait to see more of his character and like just him and Misty together. I feel like there's going to be some really great stuff with them. And maybe a potential romance. I don't know.
Oh, I hope so.
But I definitely hope so.
Yeah. What his intentions are, right? So you've got to wonder, right? Because he's the guy who's making the Adam claims. Yeah. Right? And she's downvoting him and whatever. So what his aim in this is he related to or know Adam in one way or another and is trying to get to the bottom of this? Because we already have kind of this undercover cop who talks to Shauna's daughter in a bar, which actually really threw me for a loop. I was not expecting that at all when he went back and he was a cop. I was like, oh shit. Yeah. But yeah, I guess Shauna's daughter looks old enough to buy booze and not be carded at all. But whatever.
She is in college.
Is she in college?
Yeah, I was thinking that. I thought that too, but she said to him that she was finishing a semester at like a university nearby. So she's might be 21.
That's true.
Or at least close enough to 21. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I thought she was in high school as well, and I guess I just honestly assumed it because she was living at home. Mm-hmm. That was kind of the main reason.
Yeah, you're right, though. She does say she's going to college in this. Yeah. Good catch. Yeah. So there you go. All right. I haven't even looked at my notes once.
Good memory of everything.
What's that?
You have a good memory of everything so far, then.
Oh, yeah. I just been going off of it. Now, Taisa in this has completely lost it. I mean, that's hard to even say because I feel like Taisa has always fucking lost it.
I think she's not been all together there for a long time. Yeah. And, I mean, you totally called it. Like, when her son shows up, you're just like, he's not going to be there. And I think they did a great job of that, like, reveal, too. You know, like, her calling her, I guess, soon-to-be ex-wife, maybe. Yeah. And them driving around looking for their son and then getting the call from the school. I liked that setup a lot. Yeah. And, yeah, but she's definitely losing / already lost it.
So she purposely tries to kill her ex here.
I don't know. I mean, the look that she gives her is kind of malicious, but it's also kind of like hasn't slept in who knows how long.
So it is possible that she
because she's getting
fell asleep behind the wheel.
That's what I was thinking.
And her evil self that she is, because I feel like when Taisa's awake, she's a good person. I feel like when she's asleep is when she does all the evil shit, right? So it's very possible that she fell asleep behind the wheel because we know that she sleepwalks with her eyes open.
She does, yes.
She could definitely be, and I feel like her eye color is a hint of when she's sleeping. I think that her eyes go redder when she's sleeping. I could be wrong on this, but her eyes are super red in some scenes, and other scenes they're like brown. And I'm like, is this like showing us that she's being controlled by evil?
Right. It's kind of like she's possessed in a way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I think that, so she could have fallen asleep and had a car accident, and I think that makes the most sense, I guess. I don't know what I was going to say as the alternative.
And she can even use that as an excuse for why they wrecked, right? Being like, oh my God, I hadn't slept. My kid went missing or whatever, but that wouldn't work because he was at school. But we were fighting or something. I don't know, but she is a politician.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
And this is going to be a big thing. She got into a wreck and her wife dies. I'm pretty much positive her wife is dead.
I think she's either going to be dead or like
in a coma. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, which is really sucky.
What makes me like what would be screwed up here is if Taisa goes into a coma and then she's asleep.
Oh,
and now only her evil side takes over because she can't wake up.
That would be awful. That'd be cool.
I actually really like that.
Yeah, I like that idea too. Wow. Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. But as of right now, I'm gonna say she's dead. I don't know, obviously, but there you go. Kevin comes over. We haven't seen him since season 1. The cop, and he questions Shauna, and Shauna, being the bad criminal that she is, she should have listened to Misty, but not in the way that, like, I want a lawyer. She says it in the wrong way. Yeah. She's like, do I need a lawyer? And he's like, why would you need a lawyer? Which is it's pretty much a quick admittance because she knows him. Right. And she's not going to say that. He's just coming to ask some like basic questions. Yeah. So it's like she seems guilty by asking if she 100%. Needs a lawyer. Yeah. Which is actually like, put in her head by Misty. I know. But Misty was thinking of it like when they arrest you and take you down to the station, not when they just come and like ask you some casual questions. But she freaks out because he's like, can I come back? Or like, can you come down? Because I don't remember. Yeah, he wants to see her questions. Again. Yeah, he's going to come back to ask her a few more questions. And she's like, what? Do I need a lawyer? Yeah. Yeah, I mean... But they do have phone records, so that's the thing. Like, that is why he's asking her, because they have a link. It's not just like a random thing. Now, can they subpoena the text records so that they can actually get the texts? Because... I know that he said that there was some phone calls between them and a bunch of text messaging. Yeah. If they get the text messaging, it's. But at this point, now that the undercover cop talked to the daughter, he knows they were having an affair. Yeah. So he knows she's lying and she's asking about a lawyer. He ain't giving up, right? Yeah. So let's move over to the Natalie and Lottie present day scene. This scene reminded me of Zoolander, actually, when Mugatu gets the latte that he doesn't want, and he like spits it at the guy. That was that's a comedic version. This is the actual scary version of like that Devil Wears Prada. It was super uncomfortable. Yeah, like what she's upset about too is so. Like Sedona. Lame. Yeah, it's so Sedona. Yeah. It's so lame and like, oh my gosh, like I can't even imagine being so rude to somebody when they make you like a drink. Yeah. It's all special and they mess up one ingredient. But she's a cult leader. Yeah. Yeah, she is. Yeah. She for sure is. Yeah. But I was right about the burial. But not so far about a deconversion cult. But she's definitely selling herself as not a cult like all cults do. They always do that. They're always a cult. Yeah. So now we get further information showing us that Lottie was there at Travis's death. Travis has... he hears some voices that tell him Isn't this how it happens? How does this happen where he gets the, you know, the only way to confront the darkness is to get as close to death as possible?
That's what he says to her.
Right, but how does he hear that? Like, where does he get that from again?
He just says that like the forest has been like the darkness has been visiting him again or something.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
He hears
I don't know if
it.
they say that to him or anything, but yeah, he says that to Lottie.
Okay.
That he needs to get as close to death as possible to confront the darkness. So.
Sure. So he hangs himself by this like crane, and he hands Lottie the remote control device that cuts out when she tries to use it. Now, of course, I think we're going to agree on this. I think it's pretty obvious here that the powers that be, the supernatural forces at play are the one that made the remote not work.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely what I think.
Or Lottie's telling it a little off, a little truth being left out where she didn't press the button.
That's totally possible.
Yeah.
I definitely first watch took it as it was the powers that be, as you say.
Sure. But if they want to get away from the supernatural element, and they want to go back to like it's plausible that all of this is real, then you have that side of things where Lottie's just a liar, right? And staged this when he goes to hang himself. She's like, "Oh, why isn't it working?" Or she probably didn't even press the button. He's hanging. What's he gonna do?
Yeah. We could definitely go. Excuse me. Back there. But after like when she talks about like when she explains like what happened to her, like the Christian girl that she sees that died in the plane crash. Laura Lee coming, and like the way she looked and everything.
Oh, it was scary.
It was so scary.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. A lot of good really horror good imagery in this.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But that definitely makes me think that. I mean, but, we're being told this by Lottie, so she could be making anything up, to be honest. But just what we've seen of her character so far, I feel like she definitely has these visions, and it's just whether or not they're mental illness or something else. So I kind of believe her what she said happened at this point. But I do think that there's something that she's potentially leaving out that will be discovered or revealed later.
Sure.
I just don't know what that is.
And we also have the supernatural forces lifting him higher into the air that she can't even get him down.
Oh my gosh. It was really scary, that whole sequence,
Yeah.
Like, as she turns and sees Laura Lee, and then his body just rises really fast, and I was like, I don't like that.
Now, one thing, I like how it's shot out of frame, and he kind of just goes up, and then it's revealed he's, like, really high up. One thing I'm unclear of here is that when they find the crime scene and then they go back to investigate the barn that he did it in, they find the symbol in the wax candles. And in this, it's just he's kind of encircled by some candles. So when does the symbol appear?
I don't know.
From the wax on the ground?
I was wondering that as well. I wonder if the symbol is like...
I'd need to go back and watch the scene that they find.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, it was just something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm unclear on that too, but I'm wondering if the symbol, like, appeared in the wax. Yeah, because we've seen it in the forest, like, where Taisa is about to go over the cliff. Like, it's there behind the tree and, all these other places. So, I don't know. But I wasn't positive on that either.
When she goes to kill herself off the cliff, and we pan back as Van and her walk back to the cabin, and we see that symbol on the tree, that was very reminiscent of Hereditary. When they drive past the symbol, and then later, obviously, something happens there. If you haven't seen the movie, I won't ruin it for you. Watch the movie.
Watch it.
But there's foreshadowing there.
Yeah.
But anyway... so we've definitely got a lot of tension set up right now, and it's not heading towards a friendly resolve.
No.
Right? Like, this is gonna get nutty. Now, is the girl who's being chased in the opening of the first season, first episode, is that somebody who is on the other team, right? This is like the factions, and they've moved across from each other, and someone came onto somebody's land or something. They kind of split off, and then one gets chased down for crossing into the territory or whatever. Maybe there was a battle, and then one is chasing the other one or something.
Maybe.
Like, does that have to do with who's on whose side? That's what I would assume. I'm definitely with the girl who's trying to take Jackie's clothes. I'm sorry, but
I agree.
In this weather, you need that jacket at least.
You do.
Yeah.
The jacket for sure. And truthfully, I'm surprised Shauna wouldn't want to keep it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's her jacket. I don't know.
You would think Shauna would want it.
Yeah.
Shauna would be like, all right, I'll take your jacket and you can have hers, since you want to honor her.
Yeah.
You just take her jacket and wear it on your body, or just wear it over your other coat.
Sure.
Right. Like, you need a lot of, layers in this weather. So, yeah, burning her clothes is idiotic, for sure. And that much wood. How much wood are you guys wasting?
Much.
I mean, I know you're in the woods, but it's. You don't have saws, really, do they? Well, they might have saws.
They have an axe.
They have an axe, okay.
I don't know about saws, but...
It's just gathering that much wood would take a lot of resources and a lot of time and a lot of energy.
Definitely
and you don't have food. And it's like, dude, you need that for heat. So take that inside and burn it, and you can just light Jackie's body on fire.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I get it. The pyre is to, cook the body down to nothing.
Yeah.
But it's like, no.
I know.
No, I'm sorry. You're wasting clothes. You're wasting wood. You're wasting a lot of different things. So, that's just silly to me. But they just want to be rid of the body altogether. They think it's going to, cleanse Shauna or something. But I don't know. It's a big waste of resources. I guess... The feast.
The feast.
So we get this shot of them dressed like Romans or something.
They're like royalty. I love the contrast.
So it's like Socrates or something.
They're all
the little
they have
leaves in their hair. What are those? Grape or olive?
Yeah, but they looked like woodland fairies to me. That's what I was.
What do you think the symbolism is here?
Well,
because at first I was like, is this I thought it was going to be like the Last Supper. At first, when I saw it kind of spread out, I was like, oh, but then I looked at it and I was like, nah, that's not the imagery. What is this?
I mean, I definitely think it's kind of like a magical thinking version of what, they haven't eaten in so long.
They're eating like kings.
Yeah, and they're basically eating so well that they are hallucinating in a way, because I actually think that that's what they were saying. I think when they were looking at each other, it was kind of, and I do think that was their their mind's way of protecting them, from the
not seeing it as a body,
right? Because I think that would be really hard, especially it's somebody that they know and cared about, and it would be tough to do, even when you're at the point of starvation. It would still be pretty hard to get past that. So that's what I took it as. And then I also think that there is an element of the forest and the actual magic that's going on, whatever that might be, kind of influencing how they think and view the world. And I think that that's they cross a precipice, right? From now on, anything could happen. They're pretty open to things, considering that they just resorted to cannibalism.
My question was going to be, do you think that there's this supernatural element at play that is, influencing their mind to have some kind of euphoric response to the idea of cannibalism and seeing themselves in a way that's glorified, obviously not only to justify the means, but also to influence their desire to do it again. They see themselves as, lords and either royalty or Greek gods or whatever the hell is going on there, and maybe it's trying. Now, why it would want them to be cannibals or any of that stuff, I have no idea. But I'm just curious on if it's like, they're being influenced to have more of a positive mindset and reaction to the idea of doing it again in the future.
Yeah, I definitely think that's possible.
Yeah.
I think it's a mix of both of those things, like their own minds and then also some outside influence. Because I think that the body, like as we were saying, the snow falling on it in that way, like it definitely feels like it was set up for them.
But this is like what we're seeing in here is like the depictions of Caesar, right? With like the little...
They're wearing like togas and like, they have like the leaf crowns and stuff.
Right, that's like Caesar. That's how I've seen Caesar depicted, is with like,
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's definitely royalty,
Rome.
And Rome, maybe Roman. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So what is the connection to like Roman kings and whatever,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't have a good enough knowledge of like Roman history or like
nor do I.
mythology, right? So what that might be, you guys can let us know in the comments below, because we're not smart. We can try to interpret the best we can with the knowledge we have, but we don't do any research. But I did when that got over, when the episode ended last night, I was like, I wonder how this pertains to like Roman mythology. And is there something that it's trying to suggest with this specific imagery for the feast? And I should have looked into it, but I was too busy having a horrible night. We both were.
Yeah, that's true. I had an awful migraine. That's why we didn't get this up.
So anyway, guys, that's it for Yellowjackets episode 2. It was called like something edibles. What was it?
Oh, I don't know, actually. I don't remember what the title was.
Cosmic edibles.
Ooh, cosmic edibles? That sounds like a freaking...
No, it's not cosmic. It's something edibles. God dang it.
Sounds like a marijuana gummy strip or something.
Something edibles.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we'll see you guys next week. And until then, I guess.
Bye.